The gang's all here, but minus one. And Lutz is working, so she's not here. Yeah, all of us have jobs, so I guess I'm here with Trump. See, he says he has. Yep, he says that. He says you're fired. And I know he's been going through some controversy lately, but we're going to stick to the facts. And the facts are clear. He's going to be our next president, and he's going to change things for the better for our country. And we have to stick with that and forget about all this hype and this October stuff that's coming up regarding 10 or 11 years ago that he might have said something, which he apologized for yesterday because of the media. I'm getting an echo on the earphones. Just letting my board op know that I'm getting the echo here. Anyway, we'll be right back with another segment of the Chips and Salsa Show. This is moving pretty fast today.
We're working with a new computer, George.
Huh?
It's a new computer.
It's just I'm hearing it.
Yeah, it's a new computer, so you gotta work some things out.
Part-time job. Helping around the house.
It's the latest picture of history.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, okay.
That's, the real picture of it.
The real picture. The National Enquirer.
Yeah, it's like,
George.
sometimes you gotta read the National Enquirer to get the news.
Oh, I never saw that.
When you were a little kid,
That's without her makeup and everything. I hate to wake up next to her. Like Chihuahua.
as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option.
Alright.
So you're thinking to be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress?
What was that song?
How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teachers are? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
1 minute, George, 1 minute.
Numa.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if someone
You heard of Numa?
Be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life. Someone who takes their eyes off the road while
Pull up
flying along
of
in a
YouTube
three-ton
plays
Hummer
in.
Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or
Numa
better yet,
Numa.
volunteer to
That's the
text
name of the
for them.
song.
It might be a little awkward.
What Allison
Believe
and
me,
what?
you'll live.
Learn more at
Later.
StopText.
Alright, George, we're going in. Get ready. Stand by.
And now, back.
Is that baby?
I may not agree with what you say. I'll defend to the jet your right to say it.
Welcome back to another segment of the Chips and Salsa Show. This is Jorge, and today we don't have Alice. She's at a family gathering, and so she'll be with us next week. And we have a lot of things going on in the news recently. I want to remind everybody early voting because I work with the Maricopa County elections. And I want to remind everybody that early ballots are sent out on the 12th. So Be looking in your mail, try to fill it out and send it in as soon as possible. And don't give it to anybody. Send it in yourself, and unless it's a relative, that's different. So that is what's coming up. Also, we have the fair. It's just opened today, or yesterday, I think it was, and the hours of operation at the fair are Wednesday through Thursday, noon to 9 p.m., Friday noon to 10 p.m., Saturday 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's closed on Monday and Tuesday. Admission prices are $10 for adults only, and $5 for children, 5 to 13, so that covers a lot of ages there. And seniors are $5. They have special attractions, rock view, grandstand events, every Wednesday or every weekend, and then the Edible Journey, Lights of the World, Jurassic Trail, all kinds of cooked food, you know, that you might like. They have there, and a lot of rides. So try to catch it. Take your family, enjoy it. I think it's for 3 weeks. And you might want to post some of it on social media. I just handed it to Dion because she's doing social media, so she'll put the hours and stuff. This segment is brought to you by One Truth. They're a progressive band from Virginia, and led by J.C. Gonzalez, and you can catch them on iTunes. They have quite a few hits, and go ahead and go to iTunes under One Truth, and type up J.C. Gonzalez, and you'll come up with their songs you can download, and they're very popular. And everybody seems to like them. I like them. So anyway, so we have some topics. I guess one that I'm just lay it out straight out is the Trump topic that came out yesterday. Of 11 years ago, he said stuff inside of a trailer to somebody that was trash talk, was demeaning to women, and he said stuff that you think construction workers usually talk, the way they talk, and vulgar language and stuff, which, you know, he said it at the time, but it was like 11 years ago. And he came on last night. You know, he had no choice because, I mean, all the media were, you know, kind of hitting him about that. He did apologize for it, and he said that was, you know, 11 years ago, and he has come to realize women, and traveling around the United States in his election, he's come to meet a lot of people, and I think he's a lot different than what people are making him out to be from that short tape that was played. You know, it is demeaning to women. You know, some of the stuff he said, but I think I know Bill Clinton has said stuff, and he was president when he did things demeaning to women. So Trump hasn't been president. He's a candidate. He's never held elective office. I think he.
Hey George.
Yes, Julie.
I just saw what Trump said. You know, I'm busy running this internet empire. I just saw what he said. So how do you feel about what he said?
Well, like I said, there's no excuse for what he said. And it was trash talk. It was talk that guys working in construction, or when guys get together and they start dirty talk, which doesn't condone it, but you see it, and it's wrong. It's women deserve a lot of respect. Women have come a long way from the early 50s, and he did do a press release, and he did a personal press release where he apologized, and he said that, you know, he regret what he had said. And, you know, to me, at least he's apologized. Hillary has never apologized. Bill Clinton tried to apologize when he said, I did not have sex with that girl. He didn't want to mention her name, but then he had to mention her name, Monica Lewinsky. And the things he did in the White House, in the Oval Office. And that is unforgivable because he's a president of the United States. We hold the president at a higher standard. And yes, we will hold Donald Trump at a higher standard. But at least he apologized. And
now let me ask you this. Do you think that would hurt him?
it's going to hurt him maybe 1 point, 2 points. I think he's going to come back. I think tomorrow at the debates, it might be a fiery debate because I know Hillary's using this to attack Donald Trump. She said that he should never be president. She should never be president. But if he stays on cue, stays on message, and lets the American public know what he's going to do for the economy, what he's going to do for immigration, what he's going to do for military, what he's going to do for jobs, and what he's going to do for our country to make it great again, I believe that he'll take the higher ground. Yes, people are going to remember it, and yeah, you know, a lot of...
Let me ask you this, George. Let me ask you this. You say you think he's going to take the higher ground. Do you think the people, a lot of Trump supporters, want him to take the higher ground? Do you think that they're going to want him to attack Hillary and punch her in the mouth?
You know...
Notice I didn't say that other thing that he said.
You know...
That would be nasty.
You know, I think that they're...
Because she's going to use that. She's going to punch him in the mouth with it.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of Trump supporters are going to want him to punch her back.
And he did two press releases or on TV. One, the first one he did, he let it known that he hadn't done. He apologized and everything. Then he kept going and he said, well, you know, Hillary was condoning Bill Clinton and what, you know, the things he did, because he was, you know, you could call him actually raping and actually fondling women. She condoned it by going after the women and, you know, just demeaning them and actually threatening them. They even paid off one of them. But his second one, you know, his handlers must have got to him and say, hey, let's keep the Clintons. Let's not mention that. Let's just do your apology. So the second one he did, which was hours later, was more, almost the same kind of apology, but he didn't mention the Clintons. I think the way Trump is, he doesn't take a slap without giving a slap back. He doesn't, you know, you punch him, he punches you back. I'm hoping that because he said he had, at the first debate, he was really, really holding back. And he said that he did it because Chelsea was sitting there and he didn't want to embarrass his mom and her dad. And he regretted that because the news wanted that. You know, they wanted him to...
The news wanted or the supporters?
Media. Well, the media also expected him to fire back, and he didn't. So they gave it to Hillary because she just kept firing at him. Now, he said after that debate that he was going to come back a little bit stronger. So I would expect him to be more straightforward with her.
Doesn't
but
look like he has any choice now.
But there's a way to do it in a way he can do it if he just does it without exploding on the stage. Because I've seen him explode on the stage, and he doesn't hold back. And he might do that. I'm hoping that he stays on cue with the message of the economy and making America great again, which she can't. When he did that at the first debate, he won that portion of the debate. It's only when they started, you know, when she started attacking him about his taxes and about other things that she knocked him off his game, because when he did start, he started with the economy, jobs, and she wanted it to be more dirtier, and so she started egging him on. And he still didn't take the bait like he really should have, which I'm pretty sure tomorrow it's gonna be a different debate.
It's gonna be much different.
I was looking at this article, and I where's my glasses here? I don't know if I have enough. Here. I have a minute, so I'll start it, then I'll come back at the next segment with the rest of this. The big news is there's no reason to boycott Ford Motor Company anymore. Donald Trump fixed everything in a single meeting. The CEO of Ford Motor Company, Bill Ford, announced today that he and Trump had a top secret meeting in Trump Towers after Trump relentlessly attacked Ford for moving their small car production to Mexico. Ford told the media, "I've had a very good meeting with him. He's a very good listener, and he knows the facts." But I'll continue this right after our break, and I'll come back to give you the rest of this article, and then I want to read another article about China and how China is manufacturing some Buicks. So we'll see you right back.
All types of books. And unlike most publishers, Page Publishing will take the time to review each and every book submitted to us. And we'll give you our feedback. And if we like what we read, we'll get your book into bookstores.
Oh, I thought she said that she gave it to you.
The Apple iTunes Store, Barnes & Noble, and other outlets. We have
Oh.
everything.
Then she said you gave it to Sonya.
And he told me to give it to Alice. But I knew what it was for. I
Alice
was,
is going to be here, so I told her to give it to Alice.
Inspirational work, poetry,
It was just,
biography,
I
and
guess, an
want to
extra.
get it published.
It should, now for your
she
told me yesterday.
submission kit.
Yeah, she texted me a couple days ago.
We'll start with this simple phone call.
Call now, 800
So that should
219
take care of this one.
8262
Oh.
800 219 8262 800 219 8262.
If you could tape this and give it back to me, I don't know if you have, 'cause I had given, I have one of these.
You have one? Oh, I need it. Yeah, let me get that. I can be playing their songs.
But I need it back.
Well, I'm only going to record it here, so it stays here, and I'll record it from here, or rip the audio.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
But that's
it'll
the
be
only
here.
copy I have. I've given things away, I've done given back.
Yeah.
Right, you get it. And that one, it's got a video and it's got a...
This is a new song? This new album?
No, it doesn't have his latest song, but it's the first tape he came out with. But this is my only copy.
Yes, I have 2 credit cards that I'm making minimum payments
on,
and another
okay.
that I'm behind on. I owe about $5,000.
What interest
Okay, I'm
rates
gonna
you
go
pay?
into this, I'm gonna finish this, then we're gonna go
That rate can take
into
over 20 years to pay off.
Hurricane Matthew.
What Consolidated Credit can do is
Yeah,
work
we're
with your
gonna do
creditors
this
to
one,
lower
this
your
one.
payments and reduce or even eliminate your
I might
interest
mention the
charges.
fair
You
one
should be
more
able to
time,
pay
because I
everything
wanted
off
to
in 3
mention
or 4 years.
What do I have to do?
Just give you some details and get ready to celebrate your
deep
freedom from
fried.
debt.
That's what I...
Credit. We're
I thought we were going to be at the fair, but we may not.
No, we're going to Thursday. I'm gonna take the D out and so we have and
1-800-530-5341. That's 1-800-530-5341.
this is what I'm reading from. I have a copy.
Ooh, what's this?
the new Bronco.
New Bronco?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's going to be 100% made here, and they're going to hire people.
1 minute. 100% made in the USA.
Yes, and none of the jobs.
Well, it was powerful.
And all it took was one meeting with Trump, a secret meeting, and he turned around. If he could do that, it tells you at the bottom that he's not even president yet. And if he could do this with Ford and other companies, he might be on the track for creating jobs here. People have to believe in it. I believe in him. You can have that. I have
Oh,
it.
yeah, okay, thank you. Well, I know what he did to the USFL.
So please get and read this.
Remember that league? The USFL, remember that league?
800-978-3901.
Football league, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a football league that. Oh, yeah, 10 seconds. I'll tell you about it right.
800-978-3901. Once again, that's 800-978-3901.
It's 4 p.m. and time for the wrong thing.
Like, okay, so I'm really confused because like my dad's Latino and my mom is white. Does that mean I can only listen to like half of
Welcome back to the Chips and Salsa Show. This is Jorge Alacran inside the Molcajete with our Secret Sonia taping on Facebook. So go to Facebook under the Chips and Salsa Show. Watch us live.
Taping
on,
it, Sonia?
Or filming on Facebook. Okay, wrong terminology. But I'm Puerto Rican. I can make mistakes like that. But with us, we have Secret Sonia. We have Dion, the Divine Dion. She's on social media talking to you, putting stuff about the fair up there, putting stuff about our casual conversation here. And we have Julian, who is my opposing conscience here that will come in once in a while, and we have interesting discussions, and that's what talk radios is all about. What I want to remind our Latinos, Hispanics out there is today they're having a Puerto Rican festival. It's on, I think it's called New Hampshire Street, right there in downtown Phoenix off of 7th Street. And you can't miss it because the Puerto Rican music is blasting. We have a lot of singers, cultural food. There's over probably 6,000 people over there at this time. It goes on all day. It's something that if you're not doing anything and you want to go have some fun and learn the culture. If I know the Latinos know the culture, but there's the people that aren't Latino that would like to learn more. Go down to Heritage Park and partake in the festival. It's once a year. It's called the Puerto Rican Festival, and they have a lot of Latin bands and Latin groups, which I think you would love their music. I love it, and I think it's something that everybody should go enjoy. Take the family and have fun. It's in a park, and it's a big park, and they planned this for a while, and I think you would really have a nice day. It's only today. It's not all weekend. It's just today, and go have fun. Puerto Rican Festival. Okay, I was talking about this one thing that the Ford Motor Company did meet with Bill Ford. Bill Ford met with Donald Trump in his office, and he came out and he said that the good news was that moments after revealing their secret meeting to the world, Ford Motors announced that it will be bringing 100% of all labor production of the Ford Bronco back to the United States. 100%. That means they have to hire a lot of people. You know, it may not be the same as bringing back all of the small car productions, but if Trump can do this while he is running for office, imagine what he can do if he's president. To throw a little cherry on the top, Ford did announce that they will be cutting absolutely zero American jobs when they make their move down to Mexico. So they're going to keep the same amount of people in the Ford factories, but they're taking the small productions to Mexico. But the Ford Bronco will be made here, thanks to the meeting that him and Trump had. I don't know if they had a boxing match up there or something. I don't know. But anyway, he convinced them, and it was a little contention. He had said, Trump had said at their rallies that Ford was moving out, was taking jobs away, and now it's been cleared. And you know, I think that Trump, as a candidate and as a president, he would do what he says he's going to do. Yes, he has a checkered past. Yes, Clintons have a checkered past. And I might note that on Clinton's checkered past, it was revealed yesterday that, for one, the Clinton Foundation, yes, the money went to the Clinton Foundation, but it came back 100% back to the Clintons. That's a scandal in itself, but they're not going to talk about it. We all know about Benghazi. They're not going to talk about it. We know about the 33,000 emails. They're not going to talk about it. But, you know, I will talk about something. Clinton used a child actor at one of her town hall events. It was in Pennsylvania. It was a campaign, and this girl, 15-year-old girl, she was chosen at random. And this is in the news, okay? So I'm not making this up. She asked a question about. Her question was, "Hi, Madam Secretary. I'm Brendan. I'm 15 years old. At my school, body image is really a big issue for girls of my age. I see with my own eyes the damage that Donald Trump does when he talks about women and how they look." And she went on to talk more about it. She said, as the first female president, how would you undo some of the damage and help girls understand? This was a scripted piece that was given to the girl. Her father is a state senator, Dalen Leach, and a Hillary supporter. He's used his daughter on his campaign. And of course, she already had a scripted answer. I don't need to read the scripted answer, but it shows you the depths that they're going to go to try to make the public think that Donald Trump is the worst thing that you can ever imagine. I believe in Donald Trump. I believe in what he says, and everybody could make their own judgment. Just look at the news. Judge for yourself. Don't believe what you hear, everything you hear. Because some of the stuff is true, but some of them, they sensationalize bits and pieces. Go watch Hillary's America with an open mind, and when you come out of there, if you still want to vote for Hillary, well, you know, knock yourself out. But Hillary's America is the truth about the Democratic Party and about the Clintons. One other thing I wanted to mention was the number one automaker. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to wait till the next segment.
You can tease it.
Well, the number one automaker of in terms of sales started selling the Chinese-built Buick Envision in North America, and a few months ago they decided to make the vehicle in China. Let me see. The United Auto Workers called it a slap in the face to U.S. taxpayers that they have financially supported these companies in 2009, and here they're taking jobs away and taking them back across seas. Trump will bring the jobs back. So enough said on that. When we come back after our break, we're going to talk about Hurricane Matthew a little bit, and then we'll go into other topics. So come back.
What you wanted to be, teaching, was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you thought maybe something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25
Tissue.
An actress. Try playing a different role every time the bell rings.
There's
How
no.
about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles. Finding
So you didn't go to the Puerto Rican parade
No, Puerto Rico Festival.
festival?
Yeah.
Where's
No,
it at again?
It's time to
I
recognize
should have. I wanted to, but
in teaching.
That's all right.
I would have been there all day.
Next
They
year.
had,
Where's it at?
on, Heritage
West side?
Park,
Heritage Park.
right off of 7th Avenue.
7th Avenue.
I saw the map, it's right next to the museum.
Downtown or something?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's big. They had Quito Point.
Has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter.
So Jordan, what's that second hour going to be about whenever we get it kicked off? Is it going to be sports?
Sports and news.
Oh, so basically it's going to be this
A continuation of it,
continuation.
but then sports over at least half hour of it in sports. And maybe I'll do more sports if I get into the groove, because it's just going to be me, so Unless
Better yet,
Alice sticks
volunteer
around,
to
I
text
don't know.
for them. It might be a little
We
awkward.
find you another co-host.
Learn
Yeah,
more
might
at
get another code.
stoptext.rex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the
Yeah, Al's
National
on
Highway
mine.
Safety Administration.
Hanging around. No, she usually doesn't mind hanging around talking sports.
I don't
Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You like healing? People look at you and don't believe in you.
You want some gentle encouragement.
Yeah, it's at Heritage Square Park, 115 North 6th Street, Phoenix. And then the bands, they got Freddie Cruz, I mean, all kinds of groups. It's a 10th year anniversary Puerto Rican festival hosted by Arizona Puerto Rican Festival. Direct from Puerto Rico, they're going to have NG2 Salsa Band and Don Reggaeton. Special cruise, a special guest performed by Dee Beyonce.
But things changed.
Who?
As you got older, teaching didn't
I think you said Beyonce.
Salsa, merengue, cha-cha,
What would your 12-year-old self say?
bomba, and more folklorico dance.
You don't think
Kids
teachers
court with activities, food court, Puerto Rican delights, vendors, all kinds.
try playing a different role every time the bell rings? How about a
This is
scientist?
great.
Ever heard of physics, chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You got it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach.
All right, 1 minute.
Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Jorge.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind one, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptext.rex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop?
All right, 10 seconds.
Yes,
Stand
volunteer
by.
to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll love it.
Learn more at stoptext.rex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway.
Welcome back to the Chips and Salsa Show. This is Jorge El Alacran doing a solo here, and with Secret Sonia filming on Facebook, so you can see us live on Facebook, and also Dion doing the social media, typing out to all our peeps out there, and we got Julian here.
I'm your peeps.
See, he's one of the peeps. This segment is brought to you by our sponsor, Tello Landscaping, and their phone number is 480-309-5182. They do all types of landscaping. They actually did Alice's backyard. They transformed that backyard to from a regular backyard to stupendous. It is fantastic. Brickwork, artificial turf. Beautiful, beautiful. And it was the price was pretty good. And we would recommend Tello's Landscaping. Again, their phone number is 480-309-5182. And tell them the Chips and Salsa crew sent you, and you'll get a pretty good discount. Again, it's Tello's Landscaping. And also brought to you by One True, progressive rock group from Virginia. Now, I guess they're having which is the news, is Hurricane Matthew hitting the coast, East Coast, and it's going to make a loop because it's hit the coast and then it's going to go out. It's going to start going out on Sunday night after 2 p.m. Monday comes around again, and then it may hit landfall again, but at a smaller category. But we're hoping that it dies a little bit. The hurricane warnings have been extended into North Carolina, and blunt warnings were issued in South Carolina. My granddaughter lives out there in South Carolina, so our prayers are with her. So if you have family, you know, I know your prayers are with them too. So were issued in South Carolina, including the city of Charleston. There is nothing safe about what is getting ready to happen, South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley said Friday. This is the last time you will hear my voice when I am asking you to evacuate. They asked the people to evacuate, and they asked them, you know, many times. And, you know, some people heeded, a lot of people left to higher ground, but some people decided to stay. We need everybody to consider evacuating and taking this very seriously, she said. At least 4 people died in Florida, where it was before. An elderly St. Lucie County couple died from carbon monoxide fumes while running a generator in their garage. That you should never do. If you run a generator, always run it outside. Try to have it outside. Bring the wires in. And, you know, it's safer outside. The fumes don't come back into your house, because you try to close up your house during an emergency, and that, you know, with the windows closed, the doors closed, it's very, very dangerous. Never, never use a generator inside your house, or an open stove, a gas stove. Some people do that. They'll light their gas stove and they'll have it running for the heat, and that creates carbon monoxide poisoning also. So please, please don't do those kind of things. Be smart and be cautious. Think ahead. At least 4, okay, that was in Florida. And then 2 other women were killed in a separate event when trees fell on one home and then on a camper. South Carolina officials were particularly worried about the threat of storm surges as high as 8 feet on barrier islands and historic Charleston. Officials at the State Emergency Operations Center in West Columbia said winds on Foley Beach near Charleston had increased to 50 miles per hour and gusts to 70 miles per hour. So these hurricanes are dangerous. Hey, the Reverend just came in, so hello, Reverend. So just be careful, be mindful. A hurricane is a hurricane. When the governor and emergency people tell you to please evacuate, they're going by experience. They're telling you, even if it happened here, they're telling you because they've seen it before, they've seen what can happen, and they're just looking for your own safety and good. And your life is worth more than any possessions you have. I know people have possessions and they want to guard them with their life, and that's what they're doing. They're putting their life at stake when they decide to stay. And you see a flood coming, so be careful. And Reverend, you can put on earphones and join in on the conversation.
I'm fine.
Oh, you're fine. Okay.
And if you just want to use your system.
So we just want to let everybody know that the hurricane is pray for people over there. Hopefully it'll die down and go back out, and when it makes that loop and comes back, hopefully it won't be as strong. And do you know anybody over there? Nope.
No.
Julian doesn't know anybody. Do you know anybody in the East Coast?
My sister and her husband and my 3 nephews, they live in Daytona Beach.
Oh, wow.
They had to evacuate, and my sister and her husband, they evacuated and left, and my 3 nephews decided they were staying, so they're in a shelter.
Oh, they're in the shelter?
Yeah, last we heard, everybody was doing fine. We have everything today, but I'm sure we'll hear something by tomorrow.
Well, that's good. The prayers go their way too, because the shelters Usually when they go to the shelter's pretty protected, and sometimes it's out of danger. Most of the time, they try to do those shelters where the people are safe, but, you know, you always have to be mindful. There's a hurricane, it's gonna have a mind of its own.
Amen.
And, so how have you been doing, Mr. Reverend? I haven't seen you in a while.
Well, I've been here. I just, you haven't been.
Right, I have.
I've been doing fine, and I'm just glad to be in the land of the living and still around, so I'm doing all right.
We have one more segment.
Yeah, that's like.
Okay, well, we're coming down to our last segment. We have one more segment coming up, and we have the Reverend here who's joined us. He has a show right after ours, and Revving Up with the Revs, right?
Mhm.
So he probably has a good topic today. So we'll be right back with the Reverend and with the Chips and Salsa show. We'll be back with the Chips and Salsa show. I don't know if the Reverend will stick around and
I ain't got nowhere to go.
nowhere to go. Okay, so we'll see you in the next segment. Stay tuned.
Hey, George, whatever happened to what's his name up there?
Oh,
But things changed.
he does a Friday.
Oh, he does the Friday show.
Yeah, he doesn't do this
So
show.
you're thinking
Okay.
of be something
Favorite
else.
family.
But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives?
How you
Picture
doing?
of-
Good, how are you?
All right.
Try
Yeah,
to make
picture
your
of
role
Hillary.
every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics?
Was she ugly?
Teachers
have
today are
that.
breaking down
Throw
objects,
dice at it.
finding
Was she
innovative
ugly?
ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far
Yeah.
beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad
Oh, so
Council
how we
and the
looking
National
next
Highway
week?
Traffic Safety
Are you
Administration.
coming?
This message is for
Do I
all
need
of
to
you
pick
sitting in the
Sonya?
passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable.
We have
but
a
how
dinner
does it
we're
feel
going
to be at the mercy of someone who thinks
All
a
of you?
random text is more
Well, she's
important than
gonna
your
be
life?
going
Someone who
with
takes
me.
their eyes off
I-
the road while
the
speeding
dinner-
along in a
I
three-ton
might be able
load
to
of
do part
steel.
of the show,
Freaky,
but Alice
right?
will be here.
Well, why not just ask
I'm
them to
coming
stop?
for all
Or better
day.
yet, volunteer to
Like-
text
like
for them.
first.
It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org.
I can
Brought to
come
you by
early,
the Ad
that's
Council
not
and
a
the National
problem.
Highway
I
Traffic
can bring
Safety
her.
Administration.
But I have to leave
Are
at
you
a certain
thinking about
time.
getting your
She
GED
has to
diploma?
leave.
Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of
So
pep talks
you're
that
gonna
motivate
you'll be able to come here and then.
And then we're gonna go to the dinner. It's already paid for.
I thought that dinner was tonight. Who were you getting out of?
It's the 15th.
Oh, that was the one.
I was supposed to be.
I thought it was
going-
tonight.
Well, I
That's
had
what I thought.
the truck.
Oh.
I had the truck thing today, but I canceled it.
You canceled the truck thing.
Yeah, it was the monster truck.
But didn't you tell me you didn't want to cancel that?
I didn't, but I did.
Oh.
So I wanted to be. But no, Alice was gonna be.
Oh, okay. So then next week, then y'all gonna go to dinner.
And I have to be there
After
by
the
5.
show?
I'm gonna be there by 5, so I'll leave pretty fast. I might just be here for a little while. Alice will be here,
So can you get Sonya here by Dulce?
Yeah, we can be here early.
You thought
She's
about
gonna
what you
leave with
wanted to
me.
be.
Okay.
Teaching
What
was
happened?
at the top of your list.
How are we gonna do that if
But
Alice
things
is gonna do the
changed.
show?
And as you got older, teaching
If-
didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking
Well,
of
if
something
Alice,
else. But what would your 12-year-old self say?
Alice,
Now you want to
if
be
you-
a doctor.
are you gonna do the
You
show
think teachers save
with Alice?
lives?
I'll just be here just for a little while.
An actress?
Their show
You
starts
take
at
a role
4,
every time the bell rings.
and you might leave at what time?
Ever heard
4:30.
of physics, chemistry, Who do you think
may
teaches
stay a
that?
little longer, I don't know yet.
Teachers
I
today are
have to
breaking
find
down
out the
obstacles,
exact
finding
hours.
innovative
I
ways
know
to
they start the
instill
meet and greet
more
about
lessons, and
5,
taking learning far beyond the four walls
4:30 or
of the
5. I
classroom.
got, yeah, I got
So you probably have to cut out early then.
Great things are happening in
Well, as
teaching.
long
Put
as
it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise.
you get coverage
Do it right the
for
first time.
Find out how you can
Ron
make
and
more at
Pastor
teach.org.
Pratt.
Yeah,
Make
that's
more.
no problem.
Teach.
Okay,
Brought to you by Teach
That'll
and the
work.
Ad Council.
okay. I'll hook you up again.
Yeah, 'cause I have he has a place at the table.
Oh, does it say secret sign on it?
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with
I should,
text.
I'm gonna make a little
Before you get
logo.
behind the wheel,
I'm gonna
silence
find a
your
picture of you
phone. Or better yet, designate a texter.
and
For
do it
more
all
text-free
over
driving
say
tips, visit
secret sign.
stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National
You do
Highway
a
Traffic
show
Safety
on it.
Administration.
This message
30
is
seconds,
for all
George.
you sitting in the passenger seat.
You wanna do a
And
show?
Apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random
All
text
right,
is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or
Okay,
better
10
yet,
seconds.
volunteer
They're
to text
booked.
for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety.
Hello, man. Which of the Latin countries are you from? The one with the civil war, the one with the cocaine, or the one with the fancy hats?
Welcome back to the Chips and Salsa Show. This is Jorge here in the Molcajete with Dion doing our social media, Sonia taping on Facebook Live. So just go to Facebook to the Chips and Salsa Show. She's filming live, okay? Taping, filming, that's all the same thing. And with us we have the Reverend
Myron Jackson.
Myron Jackson. Oh my goodness. I'm losing my memory.
No, you just old.
So the Reverend's here with us. He came in. He's doing a show right after this show, and he will have a ball. I know he has a good show prepared. I even gave him pictures of Hillary there, so he can look at. So anyway, Reverend, how you been?
Well,
How's your mom?
My mother's sitting right there. My mother's doing fine. I'm
Good.
doing fine.
Right.
And God is good. And now, talking about,
Hillary.
yeah, her too. I'm looking at this Inquirer.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of times they say the Inquirer, inquiring minds want to know.
Exactly.
But there's an article here. I want to read if it's okay.
Sure.
It says Hillary caught lying. It says forensic test proves candidate is hiding the truth about her failing health. It says Hillary Clinton is not only lying when she claims she's in good health. The Democratic nominee is hiding deadly health secrets that could spell doom for her and the country if she wins the election. That's the shocking determination of lie detection expert Mike Silvestri, who scrutinized several interviews in which Hillary, 68, addressed the serious concerns she's medically unfit for office.
I think that's what Donald Trump said.
Yes, he said he fed recordings of Hillary's voice into a Deceptech voice stress analysis machine, a tool used by more than 50 U.S. law enforcement agencies to detect changes in a person's stress level as he or she speaks. So I don't know exactly what they are, but I believe she is trying to hide dire medical secrets. Concluded she needs to fess up and reveal what's really going on. He says here's the official analysis of Hillary's lies. Hillary claimed on August 22nd, the candidate opened a pickle jar on Jimmy Kimmel Live and told the funny man that concerns over her health absolutely makes no sense. The doctor concludes she was totally stressed out at this point. She knows it makes sense. She doesn't want to admit that people have recognized it and she is just trying to lie her way around it. On June 9th, 2014, Hillary claimed she told ABC's Diane Sawyer she had no lingering effects from a concussion that followed a serious fall. Doctor's conclusion: she's definitely lying about that and trying to hide the fact that she does. August 12th, Hillary Clinton claimed, the former Secretary of State claimed in a campaign podcast, "I have a lot of stamina and endurance." The doctor's conclusion: she was absolutely stressed out at that point and does not believe what she is saying in the least. August 30th, Hillary claimed that running mate Tim Kaine, 58, said he can barely keep up with Hillary, who is very, very healthy. He know he lied. I don't know why he did that. Doctor conclusion: he's lying. His stress peaked when he said Hillary is very, very healthy, almost 100% stress. He's definitely trying to cover up the truth. Now, George, I'm not a doctor. I've never seen her medical reports, but I am a man. I've had 4 major brain operations, and I've almost died twice on the operating table. I had what they call a subdural hematoma, which is a blood clot on the brain from a bad fall. Now, I do know if she had a fall, had a concussion, she's on medication of some kind. And you can have relapses if you're not taking care of yourself properly.
On that note, I know you're going to continue this when you start your program. Right after we end this segment. The segment is coming to an end. Our show is coming to an end, but we will be back next Saturday, same time, 4 o'clock, and also tune in to us on KFNX on Friday at 8 p.m. for our other Chips and Salsa show. And it was a pleasure being on this show. And next week we'll have Alice here, and I'll be here for a little while, and because I'm going to a dinner, so I might be here for the whole show. But Reverend, thanks for chiming in, and we'll see everybody next week, next Saturday at 4 p.m. And stay tuned for more of this revealing news that the Reverend's going to be talking about.